Hey, what's up, everybody? This is A.L. Johnson with Elevating Man here for Motivational Moments with Leron Barnes. Definitely looking forward to this conversation. How you doing, brother?
Man, I am doing amazingly well, brother Andrew, man. I tell you what, it's so exciting every time I see your face and connect on here. So, man, I'm doing amazingly well for asking.
For sure, for sure. For those of you who are unfamiliar, Leron Barnes sits on the Elevating Men panel that we have on Monday nights, where we have discussions about different things that affect men's mental health, and helps us to be better men, better for our families, so that we can build better communities. But in addition to that, he's actually a professional motivational speaker as well as a certified life coach. And to me, those things really go hand in hand, because when you think about it, motivation is kind of what gets you going, but that life coaching is what helps you identify the pitfalls that can keep you going. And so that's extremely important. I definitely want to get into this, man. Really quick, man, really quick. Can you give us a little bit of background? Like, how long have you been motivational speaking, life coaching, and how did you get into it?
Absolutely. So, I've been motivational speaking and life coaching for about 3 years. About 3 years when I discovered I was a motivational speaker. About 2 years ago, really, is when I discovered I was a life coach. I have been doing it for so long. I discovered that I had a passion for helping people, and I was gifted on getting people out of situations. I thought it was just good advice. That's what I thought it was. But I realized, whoa, no, I'm literally navigating them through life on how they can be successful and succeed in every area. And most of that came from the way that they thought, the way that they seen a thing. And so once I discovered that life becomes what you become, life is perspective, that's when I was able to help people to shift their perspective so they can see life and get life, the life that they actually desire. And so,
I
yeah,
love it. I love it. So I know that one of your favorite motivational speakers and your inspiration is Mr. Les Brown. Is that right?
absolutely, man. Les Brown, man of our town, maybe Brown, baby boy.
Uh, He's one of my favorites too. He's one of my favorites too. I was actually watching one of his videos here a couple of days back, and he said something that was really profound to me. He said that the most talented place in the world, the place where most dreams go, the place where a lot of lost hope and et cetera, it's in the graveyard, right? And that's just meaning that most people, no matter what inspiration they feel throughout their lifetime, no matter what things they feel they're supposed to accomplish, most people never reach the point of accomplishing their goals, right? And so I know motivation is a big part of it. So we're going to get into some things that really can help trigger people into action so that they don't end up in the graveyard, with those dreams having died along with them. Right.
That's
And
good.
so the first thing that I wanted to touch base with you on is when it comes to motivation, right? There are different things that motivate us. And me personally, I realized here within the past few months that my motivation comes from something different than what I was trying to have it come from. So
Yeah.
follow me on this, right? A lot of us will try to visualize the things that we want. And so it becomes a materialistic endeavor, right? I want this type of house. I want this type of car. And I've thought that way for years and years and years. And it's never come to fruition. It's never got me out of bed and made me do what needs to be done. For me, it's always been a fear thing about what I don't want to happen. I don't want my mother to pass away and have not seen me reach my full potential. I don't want my children to become adults and to be able to analyze me and say, dad didn't quite get there, right? And so fear and hope are two forms of motivation. My question to you is, which one motivates you more, and why?
Absolutely. Well, I definitely say those really are the two greatest motivations that we do have, fear and hope. And what I found is what really gets me motivated to really chasing after the desires of my heart is I have to be somebody. It's hope. I didn't want to die and no one knew who I was. I didn't want to live a life that was like shaft, that was like a wind that was here today, gone tomorrow. I wanted to be somebody in my life, and I wanted to have the life that I truly desired. I wanted to be able to travel the world. I wanted to be able to dress the way I wanted to dress. I wanted to be able to enjoy the life I wanted to enjoy and not have to live a life that somebody else designed for me. So I've always been a visionary. I've always seen my future. I've always seen my future. I'm on the red carpet, lights, camera, action, and not so much for the fame of it, but more so because I feel like I deserve it, and I feel like that's who I am. I feel like I was born to live this type of life. I was supposed to change and help the lives of other people by getting in certain circles and platforms. So just having a vision, knowing that there's hope for me, knowing that I may have been born a certain way, but I didn't have to die that way. That's what motivated me.
That's huge, man. That's huge because I feel like a lot of people have those same type of thoughts, as far as what they want to be. And one thing that I know about both of us, we grew up in Christian households, right?
Mm-hmm.
We follow the Bible,
Yeah.
we study the word. And a lot of times people say that the Bible can suppress your ambition. Right, because in certain ways, money is the root of all evil. That's the verse that everybody runs to.
Yeah.
But one thing that I realized here within the past couple of years is that God doesn't want us to be poor. He doesn't want us to be broke because we can't help further his mission or build his kingdom if we don't have anything,
Talk
right?
to us
And
now.
furthermore, any of the people that he actually put on a pedestal in the Bible, which one of them were broke?
Come on,
right?
Talk to us, Andrew.
Right. They were all kings. They were wealthy men. They were men of great stature. And so that's the way that he wants us to be. I agree 100%, man. 100%. One thing about you. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, one thing about that, Andrew, is that a lot of us have a impoverished mindset. Our minds are in poverty. The way that we see ourselves is in poverty. And so what comes out of our mouth is poverty. And what we speak is what we have. And because we've been speaking impoverished thoughts, impoverished words, and been saying those things, our lives have become them. You're 100% right. God wants us to, he said, I want you to prosper even as your soul prospers, even as your self prospers. You hear me? He wants you to prosper and be in good health even as your soul prospers. Therefore, prosperity is in every area of your life, in relationships, in finances, come on, in your job, prosperity. But the thing about it is that we have to get out of that limiting belief, believing that we don't deserve, believing that we're not worthy. That's the reason why we say these things. Money is the root of all evil. Yeah, until you get some. Money is evil until you get some. You hear me? Money, the love of money is the root to all evil. Not money itself. It's the individual behind the tool that determines if it's evil or not.
I love that. And what I really like that you said is it's all areas of life, because a lot of times when we use the word success, we automatically jump to money, right? But there's success in relationship, there's success in your health. It's nothing to be a rich man in poor health, right? And so it's all areas. It's all areas. Man, one thing that I love about you, Leron, is your energy, man. Your energy level is always high. I've never seen you not smile, not be energetic, not pour into other people. And so one thing that we know, energy seeks use, right? Good or bad, right? So if a person has bad intentions, but they have high energy, energy will flow to them to help them carry out their mission, just like with good energy or good intentions. And so my question to you is, how do you keep your energy level so high? How do you stay motivated? And how do you allow that to keep you in a level of high productivity, meaning getting things done? How do you do it?
Absolutely. Well, one thing that I do is I hold the vision, Andrew. I hold the vision, even in struggling times, even when times get hard. I never lose sight of what I've seen for myself. I don't allow my current circumstance to determine the vision of my future. I've already seen it. I was given the vision. And so many times I believe that we lose sight of the vision because we put our minds in our current position. You hear me? No. I remember when I was struggling, me and my wife and my family was struggling some of the most hardest times where we didn't have any money in the bank account. I went in the refrigerator and we didn't really have food in the refrigerator, but I held the vision. I remember one in particular day, it broke me down, Andrew. I went to the store to pick up an outfit with my wife. And she was looking at some purses as well. And I seen her from across the way. And when I looked at her, I walked over there and said, "What are you doing, baby?" She said, "Nothing." She didn't want to tell me that she wanted this purse because she said we couldn't afford it. And I looked at her and I said, "Babe, I promise you, I promise you, we're going to get there. And when we get there, you're going to have everything you possibly could have wanted in life. If I can do it, you'll have it. But I held the vision. I didn't lose it. I didn't care that we didn't have any money at the time. I didn't lose it, Andrew. And so holding the vision and not forgetting what it is and consistently talking about it, don't hold it in your own mind. Tell everybody about it. Even though they see you as a poor man, you see yourself as a rich man, a rich woman. Hold the vision and keep talking about it until that vision comes to pass.
I love it, man. That's powerful. That's powerful. And I remember when I first met you, one of the things that you shared with me was like, man, one day I want to be able to talk to Les Brown. I said, I got to have a conversation with that man. I want to be in his circle. I want to be a part of what he's doing. And it's come to pass. Can you share a little bit about that?
Absolutely, man. I'm glad that you asked that, Andrew. I remember when I first discovered I was a motivational speaker, I heard Les Brown on the radio, and he said this: you have something special. You have greatness within you. And at that time of my life, I was in doubt, low self-esteem, didn't really believe in myself still. But not only did he motivate me and encourage me to believe I had something special within me, I had greatness within me, he helped me discover that, whoa, I can do that. I'm supposed to be talking to people. I'm supposed to be lifting up people, giving life to their life. And I remember telling my dad when I discovered who I was, I said, Dad, I'm a motivational speaker. What the heck? I said, Dad, you have to hear this man, Les Brown. I heard him. You have to hear him. Listen to him. I said, one day, I'm going to speak on the same platform as him. I'm going to shake his hand. And I'm going to say, thank you for helping me discover who I was. And I'll say this again, Andrew. I didn't lose the vision. And the opportunity came to where COVID hit. Everything got shut down to where everything went online as well as he did. When he opened up a Hungry for Greatness Speaking Academy. Well, you know what? I had to get involved. It was my time. It was my time. And I got involved in Hungry for Greatness Speaking Academy, got certified through the program. But not only that, I got into where I was able to have a one-on-one conversation with Les Brown to where he actually called. I actually got on the phone with Les Brown, had a conversation with him, and got to formally introduce myself. That became, once again, Andrew, is because I never lost hold of the vision. And I remember and known where I was going despite of where I was.
Love it, man. Love it. That's a true testament. That's a true testament. You hold the vision and it'll come to pass, man. I love it. I love it. Now, here's one thing that I've been struggling with, so I need your help a little bit. There's a verse that I found, Proverbs 31, 6-7. And I believe that God is referencing mental health. I believe so, right? It says, give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts. Let him drink and forget his poverty and remember his misery no more. And so when he says heavy hearts, to me, that alludes to mental health, right?
Yeah.
And so I believe when we talk about motivation and being able to get up and do what you need to do to make things happen, I think that a lot of people deal with depression and they deal with matters of the heart that keep them unmotivated. So it's hard for them to get out of bed. It's hard for them to make those phone calls. It's hard for them to do what must be done. And so in your opinion, just as a certified life coach, how does mental health and depression play into motivation? And what may be some tools for someone who's struggling with that to overcome it?
That's a good man. I'm telling you, Anthony, you hit me with the powwows. I mean, that's some questions that people want to know. Let me say this really quick. What is motivation? Motivation is the reason or reasons one has for acting or behaving in a particular way. Let me say that again. Motivation is the reason or reasons for one acting or behaving in a particular way. Motivation comes from within. I can't motivate you. Either you motivated or you not. The only thing that I can do is inspire you. But motivation comes from within. You have to be motivated. You have to be driven. Motivation is what drives you from within. You hear me? That's what motivation is. And motivation in depression can't work in the same season. You can't be depressed and motivated. Hello? You hear what I'm saying? Therefore, the first thing typically I found is that most people, when they are going through a season of wanting to stay motivated, but keep on finding themselves in depression or down, I'll say, a lot of times being down trumps what's inspiring and motivating them. It typically does that. So the first thing we got to do is get over what's getting us down. Because if we're counterproductive if we keep trying to do both. That's what we get in a place of stagnation, because we're trying to be motivated, but we're not. One day we are, one day we're not. No, we got to handle we have to handle what's depressing us. We have to handle the things that are keeping us and pulling us down. You hear me? The things that are weighing on us, we have to handle those things first. And then we can get to the other part. It's a lot of trauma. The reason why most people, and I'll say that, but the reason why most people are depressed is because of some type of trauma they experience, Andrew. Bro, it's a trauma. So instead of trying to go back and forth, do them at the same time, handle the hurt, handle the pain, handle what's going on internally, and then you can move. But if you don't handle that, you're not going to be able to stay motivated.
Wow. That's powerful. That's powerful. And it's something that I've dealt with myself, right? And so when I look at depression versus motivation, I look at three areas, right? And so you have your psychology, you have your physiology, and then you have your spirituality. And so I feel like we kind of have to go down that list because, like you said, you have to get rid of what's depressing you so that you can be motivated. You have to get that boulder out of your way, right? And so what I do is I've got a checklist that I pretty much go down if I'm feeling depressed and having an issue getting motivated. And so if I go physically, am I eating right? Right? Because a lot of times people overlook the fact that your physiology can depress you, right? So if you're eating a lot of fatty foods, junk foods, a lot of sugar, you're not intaking enough water, you're not exercising, right? All of those things can play into that depressed feeling. If you go mentally, like, are you actually challenging yourself? Are you pushing yourself? Are you reading books? Are you taking in new information? Do you have any challenges or anything to look forward to? Right? When you look spiritually, are you actually connecting with God, your creator? Right? Are you doing anything that uplifts you? Like, I'm a music person, right? So I noticed that if I don't listen to music and have it blasting and, to the point where I feel like I got to dance a little bit, if that don't happen at least once or twice a week, I kind of start feeling myself drift downwards, right? And so you have to look at the psychological aspect, the physiological aspect, as well as the spiritual. And within that, you should be able to find exactly what it is that's depressing you. And as Leron said, now that you've identified it, you can move that boulder out of your way. And now you can become motivated. The other thing is, I believe that a lot of times when we talk about motivation, we do it, it's an after the fact type of situation. So follow me where I'm coming from with this, but you wake up, you're not feeling all that excited. Maybe you didn't sleep well. Maybe you have some troubles on your mind. And now you try to get something to motivate you, to pull you out of this 6 foot deep hole, right? And so what I found is being more proactive and not letting there be a 6 foot deep hole to fall into is a big part of it, right? Yeah. And so that's where I feel that scheduling comes into play, because a lot of times when we think about scheduling, it's like a checklist. I got to do this. I got to get this done. I got to get that done, right? Yeah. But what you also need to add to your schedule are things that you need as a person so that you can actually move and operate at your highest level. And so if you know that you need time for the gym, you need to put that in there. If you need time to cook healthy foods, you need to put that in there. Your schedule should encompass not only tasks and activities like emails and phone calls, but it should also include things that keep you at your highest level. What are your thoughts about that?
And I 1,000% agree with that. And I mean 1,000. I remember a good friend of mine, he taught me this some years ago. He said the key to your success, Leron, is in your daily routine. And if you have to think about your daily routine, that means you simply don't have one. And I want to tell you the same thing that I was told. The key to our success is in our daily routine. And our daily routine should work we should have goals and daily routines in different areas, dealing with the gym or physiology, as you said. We have to deal with things in our mental. Like, I read books, I listen to audios, I listen to worship music for my spiritual man to grow. I pray. you want your life to be routine. The reason why many people's life is out of order and chaotic because they don't have a daily routine. They're waking up just doing things. They don't even know what they're going to be doing in their free time, in their space time. You should know what you're going to do in the time of your free time. You hear what I'm saying? Most people don't have a daily routine, or they'll have a few things that they're going to do on the list, and their day is all over the place now. Once I knock these 2 or 3 things down, my day's done with. No. Even in your free time, do something productive. Listen to something. Do something that brings you happiness.
You used a word that I haven't heard in a while, which is a drift, right? And I talk about this book all the time, man. I probably get nervous about it, but Outwitting the Devils, favorite book. And there's a portion in there where he talks about drifting. That's the exact word that he uses. And he says that so many people go through life unintentionally. And so essentially you're drifting. Imagine the wind just blowing you and you can't support yourself. You can't stop yourself. You're just going. And if you allow life to take you, it's going to take you somewhere you don't want to go. Right? If you just allow it to take you. And so, like you said, if you're not scheduling all the time, including the fun time, including the recreational time, the physiological time, it does allow you to drift. Just like it says, an idle mind is a devil's playground. An empty schedule.
Yeah.
That's an empty schedule, right?
Come on.
And so you definitely want to take care of that. There's a comment here from one of our Facebook users. He says motivation is treated like an emotional phenomenon. Often it is cognitive, but people mistake spurts of inspiration and seek that instead of being clear about what their motives actually are. That's a great comment. How would you address that, Leron?
Say that one more. I'm sorry, Andrew. Something.
Oh, no.
Say it again.
No problem at all. So the comment was motivation is treated like an emotional phenomenon. Often it's cognitive, but people mistake spurts of inspiration and seek that instead of being clear about what their motives actually are. So it sounds like it was kind of echoing what you said before.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, and that goes exactly right back into that. Is that we don't act off. Les Brown says it like this: do what you know, not what you feel. Do what you know, not what you feel. Most people only do what they feel. If they feel like, they'll do it. And if they don't, they won't. But most of the things that we don't feel like doing are the things that are going to get where we want to go in life. And if we don't grow up, mature, understand that it's about doing what we know and not. I'm sorry, Beth. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. No problem.
Okay. And I was just going to say that excitement is good, but as we all know, and as you mentioned, Andrew, there's ups and downs. We're going to feel up and down. And if we go based on our emotions, then our decisions is going to be where our emotions are, up and down.
Definitely. That's a good comment, and we appreciate it. For those of you that are tuning in, we thank you. Definitely share this with your network. Leron, you do have a special going on with your life coaching business. Can you share a little bit about that with us?
Absolutely. So right now, what I'm doing, what I'm offering is I want to help individuals take their lives to the next level. I understand that there are many different challenges in life that we must overcome emotionally, spiritually. We want to overcome these things mentally. And I want to help you. I want to help you to take your life to the next level by offering you, because you're on here, because you're watching the show, I want to offer you a one-on-one session with myself. I want to offer you that to where if you're in business, entrepreneurship, wherever you are and you find yourself stuck, especially I have a niche in entrepreneurship. If you're not making the money you want, connect with me on that. But if you're going through some challenges and you're having a hard time overcoming them, I want you to reach out to me, and I'm willing to help you to navigate through those things, and so you can be your best self and achieve your goals in life.
Love it. How can they connect with you?
Absolutely. On Facebook at Leron the Motivator. Follow that page too. Leron the Motivator. That's daily inspirations and motivation. Also, you can find me on Leron Barnes on Facebook and also Leron08 on Instagram.
Perfect, perfect. Leron, I appreciate you coming on, brother. You left a lot of gems, man. I think we should do this motivation thing again. What do you think?
Man, listen, absolutely. Hey, I love this, man. Hey, we should ask the people too. What do y'all think? Do y'all like this kind of stuff? Is this stuff good with y'all? Y'all to throw something in the chat, throw some thumbs up.
Yeah, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, let us know if this is something that we should continue doing. We definitely want to help as many people as we can. Before we wrap this up, I definitely want to plug our panel for tomorrow, the Elevating Men panel. We're starting a brand new series on fatherhood. Mr. Barnes here is actually going to be a part of it. He's an excellent father. I've watched him from afar for a while now, and so I know he's going to have some great insight for us. So definitely tune into that. That's going to be tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And again, this is Elevating Men. It's the premier destination for men who want to improve their lives so that they can be a better man for their family, so we can build better communities. Leron, did you have any last words or final thoughts?
Listen, I love this, y'all. Tune in again for this. If y'all really love this, I'm excited, and I hope we added some great value to the lives. Other than that, I love you all, and y'all have an amazing evening.
Awesome, awesome. Well, hey, have an amazing evening. Go ahead and set your intentions tonight for the week ahead, and I want you to have a great week. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you again next time.